I wanted to start, Ida, at the beginning in a way, and perhaps it's not the beginning. Perhaps you can talk us through that moment in the late 1960s, in 1969, when you started to produce these drawings in private, with, I think, as you've told me, not a sense at that point that they would be exhibited, and in fact, the history of these drawings in terms of a kind of repressed memory is itself quite interesting. So let's start with these drawings.
Well, I would first like to say I had been faulted for calling them the vagina drawings. They should have been called vulva. So I would like to present that to you first, although I prefer the word vagina because that's all that I remember.
Can everybody hear at the back?
Am I?
Yes, that's fine. It's perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you okay? So this was 1969. I had just moved from Chicago to San Diego, California. And in Chicago, I had gone back to school at the age of 35. So from 65 to 68, I was at the Chicago Art Institute. And moving to San Diego was very, very difficult. It was supposedly this glorious place where the sun shined all the time, and I didn't like that. Everybody said hello, my name is Betty, and it was the kind of place, having been a New Yorker, having lived in Chicago, it was a very bizarre place for me to see the sun come out every day and for me to be there. And I know one does not think of, oh, you're in this glorious place, why are you depressed, why are you upset? But I was. It was quite upsetting. I had just been there 1 year. And what happened at that point was, and it's what I think all young mothers do, they need a place of sanctuary, and the place of sanctuary is usually going in to take a bath and sitting in the bathroom for an hour, 2 hours. Mine was about 3 hours. And of course, what happened is that when this first came out, people said, oh, she did all those drawings in the bathtub. Well, I didn't do them in the bathtub. They would be quite a mess. But what I would do is there was a full-length mirror, and I would just sit in front of the full-length mirror, and I would just do drawings. And it was the kind of thing where, what were you thinking when you did that? I am asked this again and again, and my answer always is, I wasn't thinking anything.
But it interests me that the bathroom, of course, is a very interesting space, a private space. You can lock the door, you can keep your young family at bay, etc. We think of many, many artists who've hidden themselves in the bathroom. Bonnard would be one of them. But of course, usually they paint portraits. There's this looking in the mirror and painting portraits. So at what moment did you move from painting the face to painting the vulva? Oh, not drawing, not painting.
See, I don't know if you understand that I'm really not a painter. And I was not painting faces. In fact, even in those vagina drawings I did in the bathroom, I threw in a couple of faces. So it's the kind of thing that artists do have the freedom to just, whatever it is that happens to hit them at that moment, to do. And I had come from working with very large three-dimensional sculptures, and those sculptures at that time were soft sculptures. Working at the Art Institute as a student, we were all wonderfully taken with Klaus Oldenburg. And Klaus Oldenburg was doing all these soft sculptures. And here I was a student, learning everything about the world in terms of the art world. And so I wasn't even painting. Painting was not of interest to me.
But you went with pen and ink in this situation.
Well, the thing is, I do come from graphic design.
Yeah.
So when I first started out, when I was 19, 20, I worked for an ad agency, and it was all about graphic design. And that's what one did, line drawings, layout, lettering. And so that was, I always had access to that kind of work and that kind of working materials with a Crow pen, and it was just so easy. It was like my second way of writing and working.